With music that is often described as wildly atmospheric or even dream noise, I'm lucky enough to be sitting in studio with the duo behind the sound. Andre Lowe and Lucy Kruger of Medicine Boy are joining me in studio to chat a little bit more about what they've been up to. Guys, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. So, you guys have been on an international tour. Let me know how was that and how long have you been away for?
It was great. And put it in a nutshell, I mean, it was, I guess when we were planning it and when we were sort of taking it on as the kind of days grew closer to leaving, we kind of knew there would be some great moments, there would be some tough moments, and there would, be some everything in between. And it kind of was, it was like that, it was kind of, there were some great moments, there were some tough moments, but it kind of feels like we did a year's worth of work and living, maybe 2 years worth of living.
It was only 3 months.
It was only 3 months, yeah. But yeah, it was amazing and
I think
learning experience.
Both of us wanted to travel for a long time, but well, I wanted to travel for a long time, but I wanted to do it with something that I really cared about. And Andre's been wanting to take music elsewhere for a long time, and we were both waiting for an opportune moment, and then we realized that we have to make that moment.
Absolutely.
And so, we just kind of up and did it cowboy style, but it worked out really well that way, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there were moments that we were definitely caught ourselves kind of both thinking, what the hell
why are we
doing,
this?
Yeah.
And it was more often than not because we didn't have a van or anything, so we used a lot of public transport, which is obviously just great in Europe and England, but when you have kilograms on kilograms worth of stuff with you at 5 p.m. in a sweaty metro.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty tough. It's not very glamorous.
Absolutely. I can imagine. So, I mean, tell me, what was your personal favorite place to perform during the tour? If you could just single out one place for each of you.
For me, it was a place called Toulouse in France. I think for Andre it might have been too, I'm not sure. We played one show there, and we didn't really know the organizers of the show beforehand, and so we weren't really sure what to expect, and they were the best people. Yeah. And then the next night we were supposed to play another show, and it didn't work out, and they were involved in organizing it. So what they did is organize us an extra show in Toulouse, and we kind of made friends and gathered some people. Yeah,
the response was really good there. I mean, it was quite early on in the tour, so especially for the response to be so good then, we were kind of overwhelmed, we couldn't believe it. And then the first venue we played was quite a big venue, and then the second time we played there was a smaller venue, but still very cool. But so all the people who were there at the first show and more people came to the second one, and there was just something in the air, and it's also a big thing when people take, because touring and having to play on different equipment every night is quite a thing, because often bands, when they travel, they have a van and they can kind of take their amps with them and stuff. So it's also very cool when the promoters make an effort to organize you what you need, and you can kind of deliver what you do need to do. And also they had a sound engineer who they wanted to do the show, but he was kind of like 3 hours away, and he kind of came back especially for it. He was like those kind of people, real good people. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. That was very cool.
Well, it sounds great. And I mean, you were speaking about a great response. And how was it really performing for an international audience? Was it any different from kind of the reception you get here at home with your sound?
I'm not quite sure, actually. It's I mean, we've had amazing audiences, and we've also played to audiences that don't seem to care really. But that's part of the thing, because playing music, and I guess playing kind of rock and roll music, is playing venues and stuff that are essentially sometimes just bars, and you can't kind of, I guess, expect every single person to pay attention to everything you're saying, even though you kind of want them to.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a mixed bag.
It did feel a little bit more.
Yeah.
It was more often in Europe that people tried to understand it and did understand it. Then I think there are moments we've had here, but as a general rule, I think there are more people.
Yeah,
I think there's just more people who listen to the kind of music that we want to make.
There's a sense in Europe, because we went to a lot of shows, a lot of festivals as well. There's something in Europe where people can kind of, like crowds, big crowds even, can kind of gather in community and kind of quietly appreciate something, and then they can also go totally mad, you know.
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
it seems here a bit more that it's quite about moving around and making noise and waving your hands and whatever. And yeah, in Europe has a kind of, you see it more in their festival headliners where they would put kind of more low-key bands maybe that you would never quite see here. So, and our music I think is quite maybe tricky for an audience in that way, because it's not totally down tempo, but it's not, you know, it's not totally jump around and
Absolutely.
lose your face either. You know, it's somewhere kind of in the middle.
Yeah.